6 years ago, I genuinely thought I was losing my mind. I didn't understand my dreams. I didn't understand why I was getting so emotional. I didn't understand why I was basically all over the place, disconnected from everything and everyone. Sorry, I have a very, very loving dog. So I didn't understand any of those things. And I generally knew and felt and thought that something isn't right. I'm losing my mind. And you want to know what the worst part was for me at that time? The worst part for me was I had nobody to ask about this, meaning I had nobody to explain that this and this is happening. That had to be the worst part for me, not knowing where to go, where to turn to, or who to ask at that point in my life. And I remember one day sitting and thinking to myself, like, why is this me? Why am I always tired? And not just physically tired, but a deeper sense of tired, like just exhausted. Um, and not knowing what's causing this exhaustion. I was trying to get more sleep, trying to do less work, but now there's a lot of dreams coming when I am trying to sleep, repetitive dreams, just not knowing what's going on. And dreams that felt like messages, but I don't have anyone to confirm that these are messages. Two, I don't even know what the message is, but I do feel like this is a dream that is supposed to tell me something or has a message. And because I didn't know how to translate dreams or what these dreams meant, the first thing I went to, or the first thing that actually made sense to me, sorry, there's something wrong with me. There is a problem. Chances are I'm losing my mind, and at this point in time, it's 2020, it's COVID, it's lockdown, so a lot of people are losing their minds. A lot of people are just going through a lot of things. So I just concluded that, you know what, this is also probably me just losing my mind. This COVID thing, this lockdown thing has caught up with me faster than I thought it would. I'm not okay. And because of this, I started to isolate myself a lot more, because now I'm super sensitive to everything. I am Noise is just like not for me. I'd be watching TV and then boom, out of nowhere, it will be too loud for me. I just feel like heavy, shoulders are heavy. I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm very emotional. So then what I ended up doing is I don't want to speak to people anymore. I don't want to engage with people anymore. Also because I just felt like they wouldn't really understand what's going on, because now me, I don't understand what's going on with me. So I started to not want to be around people. But then I realized that not being around people or isolating myself on top of being in this whole lockdown situation, because it's 2020, now everything is becoming more intense. The emotions are like super intense. The mood swings are 10 times worse. The stuff that I'm now suddenly sensitive to are even worse. And there at that time, it was still like early COVID, so there was no liquor. Thank God, because I would have definitely lost my mind if I had added booze on top of that. Everything would have been times 10 of what it was, amplified already at that time. And I guess at that time, I just thought to myself that because it was happening every day and there's COVID, I just thought like, this is probably the new norm for not just me, but for everyone in general. Because of COVID, we don't know what the future holds. We don't know, we really just don't know anything. So for a long time, I thought this is probably my reality. And at that point in time, I'm not I'm not religious at all. So my first go-to isn't let me pray about this and see what comes of it. Neither was I like big on spirituality or ancestors. We do believe in ancestors. I was raised to believe that, you know, there are ancestors and we do speak to them. But that was only during the times Heonanimogedi of some sort, but not on a regular basis. So the thought of Hopasha at that point in time to sort of get guidance as to what's going on was the last thing on my mind. I didn't even know how to do it well because when there was like traditional ceremonies at home, it's always the men that speak, and not necessarily the children. Um, and I'm considered a child back home. So it wasn't any of that. So I'm not thinking of, hey, let me pray and speak to God. My praying is also, it's decking. I had seen people praying and I would always like look at people and I'd be like, yeah, I don't pray like that. I don't think my prayer is where it should be. So I'm not confident in my praying. So I'm definitely not gonna think that praying would be my first solution. I am not like spiritually aligned in that way. I don't know how to start to even pasha. Is it okay for me to pasha? Is it gonna seem like I'm pashaing because now Nyagoa kind of thing. And I just remember it being like a really, really confusing time for me, actually. And on top of it, life is confusing as it is because COVID, lockdown, no work, no business. Like my business is on a hold. It's just a lot happening all at once. But hey, look at me now. Like I I started to realize, or eventually, years later, or probably months later after I got help, I started to realize that that wasn't me going crazy, that wasn't me being unreasonable or emotional or just being in my feelings. That was my body starting to respond to the spiritual awakening that I was about to embark on. That was my body just sort of growing and stretching to prepare for what's to come. That was my body trying to make me very aware that I need to start to understand myself better and my feelings because I knew I wasn't a very emotional person. I'm not the kind of person that would just out of nowhere just like cry, want to be alone. I'm a very social person. So at that time, I wasn't very social, which was strange for me. But then I realized that I needed to sort of be on my own, sort of do a lot of thinking and what's that word? It starts with an R. Retro. I cannot for the life of me. Introspection, I think it is. If I remember the word, I probably added somewhere here. Um, but yeah, if that's not the right word. So I needed to do like a lot of introspection or self-reflection. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I was social. And I wouldn't have been able to do that in 2019 when like everything was great, my business was going great. So all of those things that I thought were like driving me crazy or going to drive me crazy were actually things that I needed at that point in time for me to realize that it's my time for my spiritual awakening, or it's my time for my ancestors to connect with me on a more quieter plane because like I said, I'm very social. So they needed me to sort of settle down. And I think COVID was the perfect time. That's why I believe that a lot of people came to their awakening during COVID time. That's why I think it worked for me around that time because I was forced to sort of quieten down the noise, less traveling, no business. Now I'm there. I'm within my feelings. I'm feeling everything. So basically, I think I decided to do this video to speak to somebody who actually feels like this at this point in time. This was me 6 years ago, but this could be you right now. You're not alone. You're not going crazy. You're not overly emotional. You're not being unreasonable or any of those things. I think you're at a point where your ancestors need you to quieten down the noise and really, really think back, pay attention to all the messages you've received, and try move from there. So it wasn't me going crazy like I thought I was. I'd say it was me being taught something that I'd never been taught before, and in a very, I don't know if aggressive is the right word, but in a very, you can't do anything else, we must focus on this, in a very intense way. I think I'd use the word intense, in a very intense way. So you're not going crazy, you're just going through your awakening. And I think in the videos to come, what I'm gonna, because I am back, I know I have my disappearing stints, but I am back. In the videos to come, I'm definitely gonna want to unpack what that is, what feeling like that is, what to do, um, and those sort of things. So I think this one was just like, I just felt like I had to do this to let somebody know out there that actually, no, ma'am, no, sir, you're not losing your mind. So, and also, this isn't a time for you to rush into getting answers. This is not even a time for you to start to label yourself as a particular person, as a particular spiritual group, or label what you're going through as a gift and all of that. This is a time where you start to pay attention, where you start to take notes of your dreams. You try to recall all the other dreams you've had before that didn't make sense for you. This is a time to sort of quieten down the noise and sort of get all the information that you've been given over the years through dreams, through if you have went to consult and all of that. It's your time to put all of those things together and just like group them properly so that you can start to process this information before you label yourself, before you go and say, oh, now you need to trust or any of those things. It's just a time for you to isolate yourself. And also the timing right now is great. It's getting colder, so obviously the days will be shorter and the nights are going to be longer. So there's going to be more dreams. There's going to be more realizations. So this is the time to start taking notes of that. If you don't have a book or a notebook or whatever it is, I think now is a great time to start doing that and documenting everything so that as certain things start to come up, or you start to understand certain things and certain concepts, or your notes, you can go back to your notes and you can sort of just figure things out that actually this was a message before you label yourself, before you get somebody else to label you. And when I say label you, I mean sometimes you would label yourself a gifted person, or you would label yourself as a person who needs tatwaza, and you find out later that that was never your portion in life. So don't rush into those kinds of things. Work with what you have. Learn certain things. Like I had to learn what kind of prayer style works for me. I had to learn how to pasha. Before any of the stuff about Oktwasa came up, I needed to learn certain things on on my own, before inviting anyone in to sort of then help me. I needed to be able to say, okay, cool, this is how much work I've done myself, and this is where I am lost. Please help me now. So it's not a time for you to rush into anything. But this video is to let you know that you're not going crazy, if that was even a question that you had, or if you were starting to worry. So essentially, you're not alone in all of this. And I think this is the video that I wish I could have found on YouTube or any socials at the time that I was on, just to sort of give me that reassurance. So this is that video for you. This is a reassurance video for you. If you feel like you do need more guidance, I've linked down my WhatsApp number, and also my Instagram if you want to DM. If you feel like you're just not figuring it out, or you just don't know what to do. But this video is to let you know that you're not alone. I'm so sorry about the light. Like, I don't know what the sun is doing. The sun is here. The sun is not here. I'm looking like I'm light, I'm dark, I'm this, I'm that. But please excuse me. I hope the general message that I was trying to put across has come across, that you are not alone, and you're not going crazy at all. Also, please do not forget to subscribe and also hit the notification bell so that when I do upload my next video that sort of is an add-on to this one, you get to see it. Please share with somebody you feel this video could be speaking to, despite their age, despite their race, any of those things. If you feel like this is a video that somebody you care about or somebody you know is going through this needs to see, then please do share it with them. If you have any questions, please ask me your questions in the comment section. And yeah, that's it from me, Gogo Odirile.